Man, Jacob, thank you just so much for your authenticity. Thank you for your story. I know a lot of people in this room would relate to that. And guys, I have the honor and privilege of just going into a second part of that. All right, don't want you to see these 2 or 3 talks as individual separate units, but as one complete message. All right, my name is Adam Shen. It is such an honor to be here tonight with you guys. I'll introduce myself really, really quickly because we can't all have the privilege of being introduced by Christians, so I'll just do it myself. My wife, Courtney, and I think we have a picture of us together. There it is. Look at her. That's my wife, Courtney. We attend the Central Austin campus. We serve on our dream team there as coordinators for our creative team, and we specifically do photography, but it's such an honor to be a part of this church. We've been here for about 2 years now. And listen, I don't know if you guys wonder this when speakers get on the stage, but my first thought, I don't know why this is like, how old are they? Like, I always want to know, how old are they? I'm 31 years old, and I'm going to tell you because, let's be honest, with Asian people, you never know, okay? I could be 25 or 40, and y'all would be like, well, I don't know. Probably has like 3 kids. I'm like, no kids, no pets, all right? So when Dan Leanne, if y'all are here when he's speaking, amazing preacher. I'm like, without Google, I wouldn't know how old he is, okay? Dan could be 25 or 40. I don't know. Thank God for Google. So quick introduction of me and who I am, but real quick, just back to the scripture, Philippians chapter 3, verse 13. Brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken a hold of it being perfection. Okay, if that's the first time you're hearing this passage of scripture, I have not taken a hold of it, but one thing I do, and this is why I said it's one message, one thing I do, forget what is behind and strain towards what is ahead. Pastor Jacob just talked about some things in your past, some things that you might want to hide that can hold you back. I'm going to talk about something that is a little bit on the opposite end of the spectrum. What if you have some successes? What if you actually did very well in your past? And how that can actually also hold you back. And I'm specifically going to get to focus on straining towards what's ahead, that part of the passage. Okay, so there are a variety of goals in here. But I know one thing, every single man in this room is straining towards something. Okay, so you're straining towards something. It can be physical, right? You can either just be trying to lose a couple pounds or you're training for a marathon, right? It could be financial. Maybe you're saving up for a new house, or you're just trying to afford eggs, okay? Like that, the financial landscape is absolutely wild. I don't know where you are, right? It could be something spiritual. You're gonna say, maybe this is the year I actually make some time to serve in the church, or this is the first time ever I'm gonna trust God with my finances and I'm gonna start to tithe, right? Whatever it is, I just wanna give you a little bit of freedom in what you're doing. If you are not struggling, by definition, you are not straining, okay? So if you are not struggling in whatever it is that you're doing, you're not straining. And there's so many people, myself included, our first instinct when we struggle is to think, oh, no, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I shouldn't go down this road. Maybe I'm not enough. Listen, the truth is, you're probably not. But that's why you are straining towards this thing, okay? And there's a key part of this scripture that I really want to get to. And I'll share a little bit of my personal story with you. Freshman year of high school, Adam was 4'7", 70 pounds. Okay, I was a tiny little kid. Like the backpack hitting my calves, when I was walking, because I was like so small. The kid, you're like, look at that guy. All right, 4'7", 70 pounds, jumped in the weight room for the first time. Don't know why I decided to try and play freshman football. And the first lift I came into contact with was a bench press, okay? Now, just some context, Philippians 3, Paul is writing this from the context of prison. I've never been in prison. This is probably the closest time I've ever felt like being in prison because that 45-pound iron bar went up, came down, and then never went back up. Okay, I did not have the strength to push the bar off of me. And that moment defined so much of the rest of my life. It defined my work ethic. It defined who I was as an athlete. I went on to play college lacrosse, which is how I met my wife. So thankful for that. But that moment was so important because I worked for the next 17 years to put myself in a physical position where I would never feel that way again. All right, so I think I have a video that's loaded up. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Excuse the music. So that's, for me, look, for me, that is 245 pounds, and I weigh $155, okay? For me, that's a lot of weight. I know Christian is gonna outlift me any day of the week with like one arm, okay? But for me, that was a lot of weight. The reason that I risk coming across like an egotistical maniac to show you that video, okay, is not just to show you how far I've come, but to tell you that as of today, as of right now, because of some health reasons and some things I've been going through, I'm back to barely being able to pick up the bar right now. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that past success where you're on this mountaintop peak and you're saying, I'm 245 today, it's gonna be 250 tomorrow, 255 next week, I'm gonna keep pushing, and now here I am 17 years ago, stuck with a bar on my chest, not being able to move it. How do you deal with that? That is why your faith is so important, okay? Because Paul didn't let his physical condition of being stuck in a cell define his outlook. He is sitting in a cell writing this. He's saying, I'm straining towards what is ahead. You're like, what are you straining towards? You're stuck in a cell. What do you see that I'm not seeing? How can you see past the situation that you're in? But it's because he had his eyes on what God commissioned him to do. And that had nothing to do with his physical circumstance or his physical condition. I realized that when I'm straining towards something significant, just back to all the weightlifting analogies, I have to have a spotter. Okay, there is no way that I'd be pushing that kind of weight. The reason I got to where I was in that video is because I had an entire year of someone who was coaching me and spotting me every single day. I didn't work out alone for a year. And that is, I truly believe, the only reason I got to that point, because he was pushing me and he was helping me, coaching me, and guiding me. All right, there are men in this room that need to be your spotter. All my small group leaders, can you guys stand up, please, real quick? I only have 7 seconds. Small group leaders, come on, don't be shy. All right, look around the room right now, identify one of these people that is near you, and just know that is your spotter. No matter what you're going through, no matter what kind of goal you set, no matter what aspiration, I challenge you, push it. Push it to the limit. It is not too much for you. Maybe it's too much alone, but those people that just stood up, get around those guys, surround them, get into a group, get into a community. I promise you're gonna see God do something in your life this year you never thought was possible. All right, thank you all so much. Corey. Brother Corey, bring us home.
Let's give it up for my brother. That was amazing. That was amazing. Jacob, you did an amazing job. Adam did an amazing job. You know, Adam said that you can't tell how old an Asian is because Asians don't crazy and black don't crack. And your boy's the oldest on the stage. I'm 50 years old. And I grew up in the